Hello, hello, hello. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Let's see what we got going on here. Just to make sure you all are able to hear me, you are able to see me. Go ahead and put a one in the chat if you are able to hear me and see me. Let me go ahead and confirm on my computer here. Let's see. Let me know if you all can hear me. Let me know if you all can hear me. Throw something in the chat if you all can hear me. Actually, let me pull up another tab here. For those who are just coming through, okay, Wired Dog, you here, man. Wired Dog, man, you're like the OG here, man. You're like a day one, man. You're. Thank you so much for continually. It is very much so appreciated. Your presence is very much so appreciated. Thanks for coming through for sure. Salute. Yeah. Thank you for being here, man. Definitely appreciate it. Today I wanted to talk, or I'm going to talk about so let's see. People have been having a lot of conversation as it concerns different roles and different jobs within cybersecurity. And one of the major ones, and I think one that I aim a lot at people who come to my channel to view my content are people who are entry level. I've been getting a lot of questions and comments kind of on back conversations and people who are just very much so interested. Welcome, Doug. Welcome, Doug. Thanks for coming through. Thank you. Name, thank you for coming through. And Darius Davis, 88, thank you for coming through as well. You all get this. Thanks for being here, y'all. Thanks for being here. This is my wife. She just Navi is here. Navi is the name of our baby girl. Maybe she'll bring her up one day. Maybe we'll have her on stream. I don't know. We'll see what's up. But thank you for being here, wife. The love of my life. Thank you for being here. You get one of these. And it's so funny because she thinks she's slick. Because she low-key kind of put stuff in the chat, asks questions, because she's almost like, hey, I'm off work. We're down here waiting for you type of thing. So she's like, yeah, hurry this up, wrap this thing up, because we're down here waiting for you. But it's no worries. Love nonetheless. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming through. And like I was mentioning, a lot of people we've had, actually, let me go ahead and start it with the intro banner. Let me do that, and then we'll get into the discussion. One second. It's about to start. Here we go. Welcome, everybody, to Struggle Security, where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. What does that mean? It really means that one thing that I desire to do is help to alleviate a lot of our struggles and to make it okay to struggle, right? Whether it's in the career path, whether it's learning something technical, whether it's learning something for leadership. Want to address all types of conversations, all types of discussion in cybersecurity so we can alleviate your struggles so you can get to the point where you desire to be. And I'm just happy for you all to be here. I said hello to so many people. Welcome. You're actually always here as well. Thank you for coming through. Doug is laughing at this one. My wife here, she said you catch on so fast. Yeah, because she's she almost put stuff in the chat to kind of pressure me, but it's cool. We're gonna rock out. No matter what she's talking about. I'm lower my volume to -5, back up. Oh, okay. Back up to normal. Okay. Is it loud? Is it too loud right now? Let me know. But kind of the discussion that we want to have here today is talk about different roles in cybersecurity, specifically those for entry level, because I hear so many different things as it concerns entry level roles. I've heard cybersecurity professionals saying entry level roles in cybersecurity don't exist, that they're not real, that they're not true, that you really need several years of experience just to even touch anybody's computer or anybody's critical infrastructure, which I think is incorrect. Personally, I do think it's incorrect. I've heard other individuals say that entry-level people can't do anything, right? These people are just there to take notes. They're just sit down and not really do too much. But one thing I want to do is help to dispel and really explain more about what these entry-level cybersecurity roles are, and really answer the question of, do they actually exist? So I want to get into a couple of videos. A really good place to understand what is happening in cybersecurity, or what some of the content is happening, is really looking at TikTok. So I want to draw your attention to several of these TikTok videos, which are really good. And it's this gentleman, his name is Kyle Tobner. Here, let me go ahead and share my screen. His name is Kyle Tobner. And one thing that he does is that he rates cybersecurity job postings on his TikTok, which is really cool because he kind of breaks it all down, has a little bit of discussion in it in very bite-sized and small portions, and really describe whether these entry-level cybersecurity roles are good postings or if they're like fake. One thing that he talks about from time to time is that, hey, sometimes companies try to make a junior role or associate or entry level role with the intent of getting somebody more senior for less money. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's go ahead and go into a couple of his postings, and I want you all's reactions. We've said, oh, okay, I guess Winf has experienced this too. Entry level with 5 years of experience in CISSP, right? CISSP, for those who don't know, that's a more of an advanced level cybersecurity certification. It's almost like an inch deep, but like a yard or miles wide as it concerns the content that it covers. It goes over cybersecurity programs, all types of tools, and really what a leader would really do within within an organization doing cybersecurity. And then at 5 years of experience, right? That's what a lot of these job postings are saying is entry level. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it, because I think that this poster also agrees. This person on TikTok probably will also agree with your assessment with. So let's take a look at this and let's play it.
Let's break down this cybersecurity engineer junior role with an actual decent pay range, 90K to 140. You're going to be working in a security operations center or SOC, monitoring security tools for signs of attackers. The monitoring you're going to be working on is 24/7 by 365, which means you're going to do 4 12-hour shifts one week and then 3 12-hour shifts the following week.
Okay, let's break that down just a tad bit, right? So this job posting is for a SOC role, Security Operations Center. What it means here is that it's 24/7, 365. This is shift work, right? So one thing that organizations try to have is like 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365-day coverage of monitoring for the security of an organization, right? Whether it's a bank, whether it's a healthcare organization, whether it's a utility organization, whether it's automotive. In many cases, there are cybersecurity professionals who are monitoring what's happening within these organizations to make sure that the bad guys are not getting in, no data is being stolen, nothing is being impacted negatively. This is very common for many organizations. That's another reason, kind of a little bit of a side topic, is that's another reason why when like the tech industry started laying off all these tech professionals, one organization or one group that really wasn't heavily affected was that of cybersecurity professionals, because no matter what type of organization you work in, whether it's tech, whether it's financial, whether it's healthcare, you need people to be able to do this role that he's describing here. You need individuals in order to monitor your environments. Sometimes this can be described or this can be sold as what you call like a managed service provider, where some organizations are utilizing foreign companies in order to do their monitoring 24/7. But a lot of times for more mature organizations, they typically want it in-house. So that's just a little bit of context there about what this role is. So shift role, shift work. This is a SOC analyst, right? Somebody who is entry level, and they're pretty much working to monitor the security hygiene of these organizations, like a security monitoring professional. Let's get back into it. Let's go. Play.
Which could be grueling or could be good depending on how you like to work. Now, the thing that sucks about this job, it requires top secret clearance, a bachelor's degree, and 4 years of IT experience. Could be a good job if you're trying to transition from IT, but clearly not entry level, and I hate that it's labeled that way.
Okay, he kind of said it, right? So top secret clearance. This is something that is very much so only for people who are U.S. citizens, and not only U.S. citizens, but people who are have been able to get or do have a government secret top secret clearance. So there's different levels to different clearances for government roles. So I think at the bottom it's like a trust level, and it depends on the agency as well. There's a trust level, but I think at the lowest level is typically that of a secret clearance, and then you can kind of get higher with the top secret clearance, where you have to get more of a background check. Individuals have to get more into your background and research more about who you are and what you are, and they even do a check for the people who have done a check on you. So, you know, a lot there. So top secret clearances here. They also mentioned that you need to have some previous 4 years of professional experience, right? So when you talk about an entry-level role, you're not talking about 4 years of experience. You're typically not talking about that. So I think that he's here to kind of give some explanation to say, hey, even though this is labeled as an entry-level role, the requirements, the degree, the years of experience don't necessarily align there. So, hey, welcome, Professor Black Ops. Thank you for coming through. You know so much about this. And Gail, welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. And I want to give you both this as you are coming in. Thank you for coming through. Right now, we're just going through what it really looks like for entry-level cybersecurity roles. Many people have said that they don't exist, but we're kind of looking at what some of these roles really entail and what they look like. And right now, this gentleman, Kyle, he does like a little series on TikTok where he's evaluating cybersecurity entry-level job postings. So we're going to take a look at another one coming up here. And this is the one from... This is actually an FBI role, so another government role. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Let me share my screen, and we'll take a look. Let me just adjust here for you all's viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Oops.
The FBI is looking to hire entry-level developers and cybersecurity people straight out of college, which is awesome. But this job posting is unintentionally hilarious. Let me explain. If we jump down to the key requirements right here, there are 9 bullets. 5 of these 9 bullets are drug related. Clearly, finding people that fit these requirements is a challenge for the FBI. Now, my favorite requirement is right here. No illegal drug use in the last 10 years. This job post is aimed at college graduates. So you figure like 22. What they're essentially saying is like 12, that's okay. 13, no way, you friggin' druggie. I guess that this is their policy, but they probably should have just put no other illegal drugs ever. Also, if you use Tylenol as decoration for your gingerbread house, you're out too. We don't want ya.
That's interesting, right? So that one, I mean, it makes sense, right? I think that just with the FBI, they have some additional type of requirements for getting into some of their cybersecurity roles. But let's look at a good one. Let's look at a good one because we've seen several ones that were pretty bad. But let's take a look at one of the good ones that he reviews. Let's see, does that one load up? Let's see.
There are so many
go ahead
terrible.
And maximize this for your viewing pleasure, and then we'll go here.
There are so many terrible entry-level security jobs, and this junior information security analyst is not one of them. Credit to this company for writing a really nice job description. So what do I like? I like that responsibilities are broad, but not too broad. You've got the standard SOC analyst stuff, but you've also got some policy work and some threat modeling. Great stuff for entry level. I also think it's fantastic that they highlight working with senior staff. You know that they have people who have more experience than you that you're going to get a chance to learn from. I also love what they did with the qualifications. There is this standard 3 years of experience ask, but they gave you another option, or Security Plus or similar certifications. So if you put the effort into getting a certification, that qualifies as 3 years experience. As far as entry-level jobs go, what do you think?
I think it's good. I would say that's a pretty good one right there, right? So they're only requiring either 3 years of IT type of experience, or you have a Security Plus and probably even some projects. So projects will probably even greater align you to that role. So, you know, I think that's a great posting. If you all had saw, it said it starts between, let's see what that role has said. It said anywhere between 49,000 and 106,000, and that was in Ohio, right? So that's a pretty good salary range for that of Ohio, because Ohio is typically a lower cost of living place. Now, this isn't California or New York or Washington, D.C. So, those salary ranges are more normalized for that area. I mean, 50K in Ohio is plenty, right? So, and especially seeing that range goes from around 49K to 106, that also gives room for growth. That gives room for growth there. What does Wire Dog say? Welcome. Yeah, okay. It says, oh yeah, there are tons of these jobs that have like 20 different bullet points for job duties. It's crazy. Yeah, entry level to me is 0 to 3 years of experience. I agree right there. Typically, it is like somewhere around 0 to 3 years of experience. Many times these organizations want to get people that are coming straight out of college too, so that 0 is there. But like we mentioned in several of the previous live streams, getting involved in capture the flags and doing cybersecurity projects and getting involved with different organizations, or even maybe speaking at a conference about your learning path, those all count as experience there. So, I think that all of those things are very important to gaining one of these junior information security analyst roles. We're going to look at another thing where he gives some advice. No, I'm sorry. Let's look at another TikTok of a bad one that I thought that was pretty funny. This is a short from YouTube, and then let me go ahead and share this for you. And it's just crazy because I've seen these type of roles before. Hopefully, you all can see this. Let me make this larger. Let me take this down, and then this person, like, pretty much they said they just have no words. So let's look at this. Hopefully you can get the whole thing here. Okay. And I think this person is a recruiter themselves. So this is a role for a cybersecurity SME, or subject matter expert. This is a contract role, and they have this labeled as entry level. They have it labeled as entry level, which is interesting because the whole idea SME, subject matter expert, does not typically align with entry level anything. But let's keep on going. Let's just keep on going to see what they see. Do you all see that? Let me zoom in more for you. Look what that say. It said you need a bachelor's degree from a 4-year. Okay, that's cool. Combination of experience and education. Okay, that works. 15 plus years of experience and nuclear experience required. As somebody who has worked, so they're not really so I've worked in nuclear myself in the cybersecurity roles. And one thing that's interesting about this is that they're kind of looking at 15 years of work experience, but maybe entry level to cybersecurity, if that makes sense. They're looking for 15 years of experience as a subject matter expert in nuclear, but you might be newer to cybersecurity. I'm not saying that this is okay. I'm in no way saying that this is okay to put in a job posting, because it's very misleading, very ambiguous, trash at best. But this 15 years of experience combined with nuclear experience, combined with subject matter expertise, it all kind of combines to say that this is just a very bad job posting. This is a very bad job posting. So that's one thing that I wanted to show there. But I do want to show you, Winf has a comment here. What I'd love to really know is entry-level cybersecurity roles written for people that have IT experience, but are not in cybersecurity, or people just starting out in IT full stop. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I think that that's a very logical transition. So many times the way that I've seen it, Winf, is that when you would go from, and I got your LinkedIn message. I think I responded already. I need to respond if I have it. So just give me a little bit of time to respond, because you had a very specific type of request. But kind of to answer your question here is that going from IT to cybersecurity is a very normal transition. I've seen it a lot where people will start working at a NOC, or a network operations center. These are the individuals that are focused. Well, a lot of times the NOC is part of the help desk too, within organizations. So might be in the help desk organizations or the network operations center organization. And these individuals would typically be responsible for making sure all of the equipment, the networks, the routers, the switches, and the devices, those are all staying running, and the applications, kind of all of that. working in the NOC, making sure everything stays running. Transitioning over into a SOC type of role, NOC to SOC is typically a very good transition where you would see IT professionals who have a lot of experience there transition over into cybersecurity, because at times there is a lot of overlap. So that's typically where I've seen that happen, where individuals will go from IT to cybersecurity, from a SOC to a NOC. So maybe if you're looking for roles within cybersecurity and you're working in a NOC, looking for SOC roles will definitely be a very smart transition there. I see you all saying hello, hello, hello. Hopefully that answered your question. Everybody is speaking and saying hello, and salute to Antonio Keys. Welcome, Antonio. I think you just came into the chat. You get one of these. Which you get two. Pardon me. You get two of those. But yeah, for those who are just coming through, we're talking about entry-level cybersecurity roles, if they really exist. Because in many cases, as we've seen in some of these examples from TikTok and people evaluating job postings, it's almost like they're not really there. We've been seeing job postings with saying entry level, but about 15 years of experience that they need. We've seen entry level, but needing to have 3 to 5 years of experience. We see an entry level, but having all of these other requirements there. So, a lot of these postings have not been good. We saw one good example that was evaluated. And yeah, and some of those ideas or some of those points, those bullet points that were good, was saying that you'll be mentored or you'll be supervised by more senior level individuals, that they would have responsibilities that are very, I wouldn't say simple, but very appropriate for somebody who is just jumping into cybersecurity, them learning different tools to be able to find bad or threat hunting or threat modeling. Those are all very good. Those are all very good things that you will see in a job posting. So I would say that they do exist, but maybe they're just not advertised very, very, very well these days. So WireDog said that, hey, I went from NOC to security analyst. Boom, right there, Wimp. So many times that is a very logical type of progression if you're going over into cybersecurity, going from a NOC environment to a SOC environment. Okay. We're seeing others. I heard GRC space is difficult to break into, but it is great niche in information security. Yeah, I do think so. So GRC, what does that stand for? Listen, I do not always remember risk and compliance. What is that? What's the G meaning? I'm always Googling. Governance, risk, and compliance. And yes, that is a very good place to get into. It's a bit of a less of a technical type of role or technical type of roles within cybersecurity, where you're more dealing with the policies, the procedures, the standards, the documentation, really understanding the controls that are implementing, really dealing with risk within the organization. Those are very good roles to get into, and very much so within the federal government or Department of Defense type of roles. So GRC roles are very prevalent around defense contracting organizations like Booz Allen, Northrop Grumman. What are some other ones? Raytheon. You will see a lot of GRC roles there, but even very large consulting firms typically have a federal government or a DoD type of group. So even in large consulting firms, like Big Four consulting firms, whether you talk about KPMG and Deloitte, Ernst & Young, PricewaterhouseCoopers, they have a lot of GRC roles there too, because they have customers, they have clients who desire for somebody to come in and really help them with their governance, risk, and compliance. So yes, a lot is there, and those are very good roles. And I would say that it can be difficult to come into, but I do think it is very possible. I would just say apply, network with individuals who are already GRC professionals, and then kind of go from there. Going to different conferences. I know that there's a very good conference. What is the name of this conference? Let me see if I can find it. It's every year. I've been to it. It's a free conference too, and I think it's online as well. I'm thinking of it. It's not the critical infrastructure one. I'm just looking it up. I know it is. I'm thinking it's in DC as well. It happens every year. I'm I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that conference for you. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat whenever I get a chance, because there's one. I'm looking for it. I think it's like a risk conference or something. No. Professor Black Ops, if you know what that government conference, it's a free conference every single year. I think it's in DC, and they have a lot of GRC professionals there. I can't remember the name of the conference, but if you can remember or if you know what it is, let me know. Let me know. What's up, Citizen Lou? Welcome, welcome, and Zone, welcome over. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming through to the chat. Let's see what else. Yeah, the governance is what I was looking for. Yeah, governance, risk and compliance. WireDog says if you like audited reading policies, yeah, that type of stuff, right? Some people might find it, and I think WireDog, you said GRC is definitely not for you. You like to do the hands on the keyboard stuff. I completely understand that, but some people really have like a niche for that, right? They have a very they kind of drawn to the organization, really tracking controls, tracking policies from beginning to end, can kind of almost be anal in how documentation is communicated and communicating things written. Like, I think that there are people who are very good at that, and I think that that's like a type of skill that's very important as well if you're a GRC and professional. So I have no idea what route I should take. It's a lot of routes. Are you trying to get into cybersecurity? There are a lot of routes to take, but right now we're talking about entry-level ones. So this might be something that you might be interested in. And many times, Gail, a lot of times these entry-level roles will come with, and I know that we've been mentioning SOC. Security Operations Center is a very good place for entry-level people to jump into. Now, it doesn't always have to be a 24/7 type of role. You could come in where you work a specific shift. And this is really just trying to understand on what's happening within organizations as it concerns monitoring for the bad guys. But there are other entry-level roles where you might be an analyst, where you're helping more senior people with the documentation, kind of in some of the GRC roles. So maybe GRC is something that you might be interested in as well. Keep grinding. Clyde, welcome. You're always here. Thank you for coming through. Is it the InfoSec? It's not the InfoSec conference. Listen, you got me on it. Now. Let me go to my email, because I know it's a government. I can't remember the name of it. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but I've been to it several times. DC, I don't know, conference. I know it happens every year. It's not Hack the Capitol was another good one. That is actually a good one, but that's not the one I'm speaking of. It's in DC it's not the GRC Summit, but I think that is one. That is definitely one. Let me look at the GRC Summit. I know it's one, but it's free. The one I'm talking about is free. GRC Summit in June. This is from 2022. Okay, here's the 2023 stuff. I'm gonna pull it up in 1 second. Let's see. June. No, I don't see it. This crap. GRC Summit. Cyber. I'm gonna pull this up for you, Gail. 1 second. That one's in Miami, and it looks like it comes with some training as well. Some of this stuff can be expensive, so I'm not even gonna cap about like what it really looks like. Okay, so this is the GRC Summit that Professor Black Ops is speaking of, hosted by Metric. I've never been, but it looks like it's there in Miami from June 14th to 15th. So it's like a two-day summit. Let's see what they're saying to expect here. 400 industry GRC share insights, exchange best practices, and discuss what's next in GRC. And that's really what the majority, that's probably the best thing that you get out of these conferences, is really helping to build up your professional network. So if you're looking at getting into GRC, talking to the people who are already in GRC, them getting some face-to-face type of interaction with you, that really will help you kind of go forward and really try to help you map out what your career will look like. It says connect around operational resilience, risk management, compliance, cyber risk, ESG, because that's such a strong topic. Because I know WireDog has mentioned, he says GRC is not for him. GRC is not for him. I get it. But you know what's interesting? GRC is really what is communicated to the highest levels of organizations, because organizations don't necessarily only see just risk. They don't only just see cybersecurity, but they do see risk, whether it's a risk to the business, whether it's a risk to the data, whether it's a risk to their customers, a risk to their business operation, a risk to the impact to their critical systems. That is what the CEOs, the CIOs, the CTOs really look for in their cybersecurity talent. So communicating cybersecurity under the umbrella of risk is something that is extremely important to leaders and executives and board members within organizations. So GRC might just be your best bet, Gail, especially if you're looking at, and I would say those GRC professionals typically ascend that ladder, right? They ascend that corporate ladder much quicker than somebody who is just I wouldn't even say just, individuals who might be more technical in their experience. So I would like to say that. I would say that the technical people had the most fun, but the non-technical people get the most money. I'm not gonna lie. At least that's what I've experienced. If you all experience something different, feel free. You know, I'm here to be corrected. But like he said it's not for him. Let's see. Hit the like button, the notification bell. Thank you all for coming through. We got 24 in the building. Let's keep on going here. Oh yeah, shout out to the GRC for hats off for you. They come in handy when trying to. There we go. See, listen. Well, great minds think alike. I didn't even know that you had said that, but before I even said that. But like he said, GRC professionals help to push initiatives. And when you say push initiatives, it really pushes the initiatives to the people with the pocketbooks, the people that are able to sign the checks and write the checks for the big stuff. So thank you for this. I'm going to take this and throw this into the chat for you, Gail. GRC Summit. So, oh, that's an ugly link. It's very, that's such an ugly link, but it's cool. It'll minimize when it gets posted. Yuck. Oh, no. I'm deleting that. I almost put myself in timeout. That's horrible. I'm trying to delete it. I cannot delete it. All I can do is put myself in. Here, let me do this. I'm going to put myself in timeout. So it'll go, oh, no, I can't put myself in timeout. That's a gross link, y'all. I absolutely apologize for that because that's horrible. Let me see if I can just get a minimized link. Listen, these are all the struggles of streaming live. Okay. This is the link. Go there, Gail. Sorry. Yuck, that is horrible. Okay, let's see what else we're talking about here. Is it the Gartner's? No, that's not the one I was talking about, Corey. But that might be another one. Let's see what you're talking about. Have you been to that one before? Gartner. You said it's the Gartner Security and Risk Management Summit. Let's see what that one is. Okay. And that one's also coming up in June, looks like. But look at some of these here. Look at some of these prices, though. Look at that bread. You might have to come out of some money here, right? If you're not sponsored by your organization. So this is also in June, from June 5th to June 7th. It's in Maryland, but it looks like the prices. Oh my gosh, this is early. It's almost $4,000 here just to be able to attend. Yikes. So I would say don't go to this unless your company is going to pay for it and you know that you're going to have a specific return on your investment. If you're able to communicate your return on it, that's another thing about conferences. If you're going to a conference, you definitely want to submit something to your leadership within your organization to tell them what type of return on investment they would have for purchasing something like a $4,000 conference attendance, because that's not only $4,000 in for the conference, but there's also additional for travel, for logic, and all that stuff. So I'm just looking at a little bit here about the agenda. Man, Gartner opening keynote, cutting through the lies that obscure cybersecurity's full value. So looks like it has some value here. Just like we were saying before, right? A security view of the 2023 CIO, Chief Information Officer, and CEO, Chief Executive Officer agenda. So just like we were mentioning, GRC are the people that talk to these people, these executives within organizations. They talk about top predictions, accelerate your cybersecurity programs effectiveness, 12 tactics to deliver. And here, all you're seeing here are senior directors, VPs of analysts, and it looks like these are all just Gartner people. So these are just Gartner folk, distinguished VP analysts. You're getting some very director analysts. You're getting some very high level or leadership that is speaking within this. That's probably why that ticket number is so high, because to get their time and get their energy, you might have to pay some bucks here. So that's that conference. That's that Gartner conference. I'm not necessarily recommending it, but if you can swing it with your leadership, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's look at some other comments here. Off topic, but I'm glad I found your channel. What path do you think an accountant should take that wants to transition into tech? So the financial industry a lot of times is riddled with all types of cybersecurity issues. And have you ever heard of PCI before? It's the PCI, Payment Card Industry, PCI DSS. I'm gonna throw this here. Actually, let's just go here. Let me show you. PCI, and maybe it'll just explain it better than what I can explain it. But PCI stands for the payment card industry, I believe. And what it does is that these are a set of standards for the financial industry in order to be able to have financial transactions, right? So this is very kind of key, hand in hand with accountants, right? Hand in hand with individuals who are in the financial industry. These type of standards are these are standards. These are requirements for financial organizations to implement, or cybersecurity requirements for financial organizations to implement within their organization in order for them to be in compliance. So these are compliance standards. And they also have trainings and certifications that are associated with these standards. So I would say research PCI and maybe start here with this PCI website and kind of even just go deeper and deeper into that subject. Just drill down into different trainings, drill down even on YouTube and Udemy to what PCI standards are there. And I think I've seen, I feel like I know somebody who has went from accountant to cybersecurity. I'll try to see if I can find something like that and maybe even do a video about it. But that's a very good question, Drew. That's a very good question. Jesse, welcome. Great gems dropping here. Gabriel, definitely appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming through. And just everybody who is just coming here, just want to welcome you all with this going on here. I just want to welcome you all with a hand clap. Thank you for coming through. Okay. I'm a little bit behind in the chat, but let me go ahead and catch up. Let's see. Do you know any sponsors for students who want to attend this stuff? I don't know any sponsors. Many times your own organizations will sponsor you if that is aligned to something that you do within your business or your organization. That's typically who would sponsor you. But there's other organizations like SANS. The SANS organization, they sponsor individuals, or they even have free conferences that you can go to. Because there's one, I think that's coming up right now. New to Cyber. I think that is coming up. Is that coming up? Yeah, that's March 4th through the 16th. Oh, that's happening now. Is that happening now? No. I know New to Cyber is coming up. Or is it happening? Let's see. Let me go on LinkedIn really quick. I actually spoke to New at New to Cyber last year, and I think it should be coming up very soon. I'm just pulling it up here. Did it start yesterday? Oh my gosh. Here, let me throw this in the chat. Wait, let me go to the FAQ. I'm trying to see what it is. Require a lot of math, starting salary, easiest. When is this conference? So this is a free conference for individuals who are new to cybersecurity. Here, I'm just going to throw it in the chat. New to Cyber conference, but free. And I am behind on the chat, so I'm gonna be catching up. But yeah, Jesse, that might be something that you would be interested in there. Jesse said one. Okay, good content. Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you for coming through, Mango Diet. Thank you so much. Definitely encouraging. Ron, that's expensive. I've never been to a conference. Yeah. I don't know about that. Akin, welcome. He said, welcome, Struggle Family. Oh, I put that up earlier. Socks will be, Socks is another good one. That's another good one for the accounting question. That's another That's another standard for financial organization or financial transactions. That's a very good one. Drew, much appreciated. Never knew about this. Absolutely, Drew. Hopefully that helps. I might even do something. I might even do a video about transitioning from one area or one career to another career. I think I need to do something on that as it concerns the video. Gail says, I've worked in banking and fraud investigations for over 10 years and was considering getting a CISSP to land a good cybersecurity job. Don't want to get into student loan debt. I know what you mean. But the fact that you have worked in banking and fraud investigations, I think that that's a very good, I guess, value proposition to your organization to say, hey, I'm looking to transition into cyber, right? Cyber investigations or cyber auditing within my organization. They would probably even fund your CISSP training and your certification attempt. So I don't even think that you would go into to student loan debt if you can get an employer to pay for that. And there's so many different templates. I think SANS has a template because they offer cybersecurity training. Let's see, SANS template for employer funding trainings or something. I think that I'm always Googling crazy. Let's see. Okay, this. Oh, no, not that. How to ask to be paid for professional programs. Is this what it is? I need to do that too. I think I did a video on it too about how to get your company to pay for your certs. But your company can, many times, if they see a good value proposition, if you present it in a way to say, hey, this will be a value to our organization by me getting this training, they will pay for it. And I've gotten so many certs, so many certifications paid for, so many trainings, stuff that they started to volunteer me. I done got so many trainers that they started to volunteer me for trainings. They started to volunteer me for stuff. Octavia says Heath Adams, the cyber mentor, went from okay, boom. I think he tells about his story, doesn't he, Octavius? Cyber mentor, accounting. He speaks about that transition. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, because he was an accountant, wasn't he? I think this is the one. Is this the one? Let's see. 8 to succeed. I was here. Let me go ahead and give you his channel. Let me go ahead and give you Heath's channel, and then he might be able to help to transition from from accounting to cybersecurity. Accounting to cyber. You gotta search because I can't find that video right now off him. But I know that he did go from an accountant to a cybersecurity professional. Now he's offering all types of amazing trainings out there. Okay. Yes, very good content, Black Dub 21. Very true. It was yesterday. Oh, it was yesterday. They probably have recordings then. I know they have previous recordings because they probably have my the one that I did last year. Let's see, because SANS, if you go to the SAMS YouTube page and you do new to cyber here, I'll even put that in for you. They have a whole playlist. And here, let me throw that playlist in here. Man, I'm just a wealth of resources, aren't I? I'm just trying to get everything for you all, and hopefully the chat isn't being overloaded with links. Hopefully this is helpful to you all, because I just know that when I have so many more resources, so much more like a kind of like a focused area for me to go into, then I'm able to start with what someone has given me, like a resource that they've given me, and I've been able to repeat it, enlarge, and kind of grow my knowledge and understanding of things. So I'm big on resources and big on links for sure. That's true. Heath, I recall him saying that he's yep, absolutely. Professor Black Ops mentions the Fed Trade Commission, financial institutions, companies that offer consumers financial products, services like loans, financial investment and advice, and just banks, right? I know there's someone else, Textual Chatter. He works for he's been working for financial institutions for years. I think he works for Chase. He used to work for Goldman Sachs. So, there's plenty of opportunity to jump into cybersecurity roles within financial organizations. So yes. Thank you. Yeah, I was initially thankful, and it was really good. Yes, and that's that link there. Okay, we're still talking about entry-level cybersecurity roles. We talk about entry-level cybersecurity roles, and I ran across a very good PDF, right? On LinkedIn, I just be following people, man. I just follow people all the time, and they have such good information that I'm like, yeah, I have to share this with the people. I got to share this with the people. Dave John Hammond just put a video out today on a new API security site put out by a couple of guys. One of them is being a writer of a highly successful book on APIs. If anyone is interested in that, yeah, feel free to Clay, are you a moderator? If you are, and if any of you are moderators, feel free to drop links to things. Let me see. I gotta go to the YouTube channel to see if people are moderators. Because if you're a moderator, you're able to drop links to things within the chat. And I want to make sure that you all are able to do that. Where is my content? But it's not always easy. Okay, boom, there we go. I want to go straight to the video. Let me go to the link. Okay, there we go. Clay, you are, yeah, you're a moderator. So feel free to drop that link to that chat or the link to that video for the API hacking, which is really good, Okay, and Jesse says here, that currently in the UK pays, yeah, crap there. Any gems for moving from US, from outside, most organizations rather get local. I would say look for global organizations. One place that's really good are consulting firms. So you probably know like companies like Accenture, they have a global organization. Organizations like PricewaterhouseCoopers or Ernst & Young, they have global organizations. But even smaller consulting firms or smaller tech companies, they also have a global footprint. So I would say if you're looking at transitioning over to the US, I would say look at global organizations that have a lot of presence within different countries that you're looking at going to, because most likely they would have a presence in the US, in Europe, in Australia, in the Middle East, and in Asia. So looking for organizations like that is what I would say. Drew said we definitely will definitely be more pulled in on this channel. Great info. Yeah, thanks, man. Definitely appreciate it. Want to take a look at this. Let me maximize this for you all. How do I maximize this PDF? Full screen mode. And what was really interesting about this, and one thing that I liked about this, is that you will see even on the first page. Let me share the screen. How do I share? I'm going to share. It's not a Chrome tab. This. Let's see. Can you all see this? Let's see. Does it pull up? I don't think this pulls up. I don't think this pulls up. I might just have to share the screen, like the entire screen. Let's see. Actually, let me minimize it. And maybe I just share, let's see. I'll share this. Let me see if you all can see this PDF. Can you all see this PDF? Come on, PDF. No, that's not coming up. Okay, I'll just have to share the entire screen then. Share the entire screen. And why is this PDF not coming up on this screen? That's weird. Can I not share PDFs? Okay, I know that I can open the PDF up in a browser. So let me go ahead and do that. I think I know where it is. Let me open it up on my browser and see if I can share that one. Yeah. Oh, man, man, I love it. It's always ways to get what you want, right? It's always a way to get to it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? This organization, I guess like some type of research type of organization. I want to minimize this, make this, yeah. Okay, this was kind of like a research organization. And what they did was that, I want to even get myself out of the way. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so this Access Cyber. So one thing that they did, okay, Wired Dog, you saw it too? Okay, so I haven't seen it all the way through. I haven't seen this all the way through, but I thought it might be something cool to kind of have like a reaction to as we kind of go through what entry-level cybersecurity jobs look like, right? Because they looked at, as you see, 10,584 entry level. Okay, Winf, you said you read that earlier. Okay, well, feel free to put any of your reactions or your comments in there about it as we're going through. That's the link above the comment. Okay, yeah, definitely appreciate that, Clay. So this is the API hacking course that Clay was speaking of, that if you all are interested, you can go to. And again, API hacking, APIs are everywhere. It connects all types of programs to different websites and applications. So feel free to check that out if you all are interested. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this for your viewing pleasure. So let me get myself out of the way. So it says we looked at 10,584 entry-level cybersecurity jobs, and here's what we learned. So one thing that they learned is that they said 71% of the time entry-level is code for some experience required. Wasn't that something that we said, right? That was definitely something that we said. We said that that's so I think Wired Dog, you said that you typically see 0 to 3 years of experience. And one thing that the person, Kyle, he was reviewing those job postings, and they were having like 15 years of experience at the most that we saw. So we'll take a look at that. I think that you all can see it here because the text is pretty large. It says, however, get creative. Home labs, okay, relevance courses, and internships can be used to demonstrate experience. Isn't this stuff that we were saying before? Things like cybersecurity projects, right? Going through courses that your organization pays for. This is another one for people who are more like undergrad or in college or even before college. Internships. Internships can also be used as some level of experience, and many organizations are looking for internships, summer interns. Even now is the time. Now it here says only 8% of these jobs ask for paid professional experience. You said you read it earlier. These are there's a comical comment on for let's see what happens. Roundtree, you're welcome. It says it has to be entry level. It has to be entry level positions. I just landed one and I start next week. Okay, listen. Congratulations. You said you just got. Yeah, we're very happy for you. You said you just landed one. You start next week. You said, I think people are misled or hearing what they want to hear and don't realize that they should have some familiarity with the technology, right? Some familiarity with the system, some familiarity with the industry, learning about what's actually happening in cybersecurity, having your finger on the pulse of what's happening. You can't just go from, hey, I'm walking off the street, just as Roundtree 30 is mentioning. He's saying you can't just walk off the street into an entry-level cybersecurity role. He's saying some level of familiarity is extremely important. And not only that, he's landed it. He's landed an entry-level cybersecurity role. And I would heavily advise you to take his advice here. Heavily advise you. And congratulations again. Salute to you for being able to achieve that. Because a lot of people say that they're having an issue. They're having some issues with that. And what I'm hearing you saying is that the familiarity with the subject matter, familiarity with the information is extremely important. So thank you for that, man. Yeah, thank you for that. There is also a lot of gatekeeping. Yeah, there is gatekeeping because people are scared to lose their jobs at times. And just like everyone is saying, Roundtree, bless you, Roundtree. Salute from Professor Black Ops. We support here. Yeah, we definitely support here. Salute, and definitely we appreciate you for giving your context. And Gail says, congratulations. Roundtree says the interview was really technical and studying helped 100%. So studying. Right, that was something that we talked about a couple streams ago about labbing every day. Mr. Dewan Lightfoot, he speaks about that, labbing every day, studying, being familiar with the technologies and information has helped Roundtree acquire that job. So boom, there is real world and very relevant advice, very recent advice from someone who has just landed an entry-level cybersecurity job. Yeah, thanks for that, man. Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. Okay, let's keep on going through this. So this says, I'm not going to be with you much longer. I know I hear a baby downstairs crying, so, I'm going to have to run down there pretty soon. But, okay, this one says only 8% of these jobs ask for paid professional experience. So it's saying that a very small number of these jobs is actually asking for paid professional experience. But just like Roundtree said, just like this is saying, home labs, studying, relevant course materials, certifications. You can get a Security Plus without having job experience, right? Can all be used to demonstrate what that experience is. Okay. In 5, it says average entry level and junior candidate salaries range from, okay, I don't know. This is about typical. This is what I've seen. This is pretty typical. This 53,000 to 114,000. Yeah. This is pretty typical based upon, area. So if you're more towards some of those coastal cities and those more populated metropolitan areas, Washington, D.C., New York, and California, you might be upwards there of those 6 figures, even just starting off, right? It's not a guarantee, but they're at the bottom end. We see in 53K, right? I think we looked at a job posting where it was in Ohio, and Ohio has a low cost of living. So 53,000 in Ohio is plenty. And the thing about it is that medium type of cost of living areas, like maybe I don't know, maybe a Dallas a couple of years ago, or Charlotte, North Carolina, or some popular cities, but don't have a very high cost of living, you might be in there 70 to 80K or so, right? Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, these are good salaries. These are very good salaries, but just like they were saying, it requires studying, requires networking, attending different events, and kind of getting very familiar with the materials, very familiar with the industry would help you to land a job with a salary that's right here within that range. And this is what I've seen. I know that I've interviewed people and brought people in as entry level right out of college that have very similar type of salaries, whether somewhere between that 70 to 80K, even just starting off right out of college. So let's keep going here. We got a couple of more slides to hit. Okay, so that's the salary ranges that they saw. Some of them says no security clearance, right? So a lot of them, no security clearance, no problem. They're saying less than 18% of the jobs, and again, this is from 10,000 or so jobs that they were looking at. It says less than 18% of the jobs required any sort of clearance. These were typically government entities, intelligence agencies, and defense contractors. We saw some roles where the FBI was hiring, and they did require a top secret clearance. That's something that they required. But one thing here is saying that only 18% of those jobs that they polled required that. So even though, hey, there are some entry-level roles that require some of those clearances, 18, that's not the majority. That's not even half. So, that's something that I'm seeing that they glean here. They asked about coding. That might even be another video that I do. It says can't code. That's cool. It says employers don't seem to care. Programming languages and the ability to code were only mentioned on 12% of entry-level cybersecurity jobs. The most and that's important, right? Because even though people might feel like, hey, do I need math to get into cybersecurity? I did a video on that. Do I need coding to get into cybersecurity? Here we're saying that from the 10,000 that they polled, 10,500 or something that they polled, only about 12% required that for entry-level roles. So I would say the answer is majority no, that you don't need to know how to code in order to jump into cybersecurity. But if you want to add that to your resume, you want to add that to your ammunition, it's asking, hey, what are the most common? And I know it's Python. I haven't even read this. Probably the most common one is boom. Listen, I didn't even read it. I knew it was Python, because many times you want to script, you want to automate different processes and procedures. And Python is a very good programming language to do that, right? Okay, got certs. It's asking about certs. Employers seem to really like certifications. It's funny because there was recently, I wouldn't even say recently, but not too long ago, myself and other tech professionals, there is like a group of people on YouTube who are very against certifications, specifically the CompTIA certifications, whether the Network Plus, the A Plus, and the Security Plus. They hate them. They just hate certifications. But for some reason, for these entry-level roles, what are we seeing here? That employers want you to have certification. Says over 83% of jobs ads listed in industry certification. And the most common were what? The Security Plus and the CISSP. Why would there be groups of individuals that are saying, hey, this is how you get into cybersecurity, this is how you get into tech, when 83% of the job postings are saying that you should have a certification? This leads me to believe, and it only makes sense to say, hey, if you're looking at an entry-level role in cybersecurity, a certification will definitely help you, because 83% of job ads that were polled here from the 10,000, that's a lot. 83% of the job ads listed cybersecurity certifications as something that they desire. So I would say, hey, a Security Plus, very good. Very good. Security Plus. I've interviewed plenty of people who just had a Security Plus, nothing else, and they were able to acquire those jobs. So got certs, I would say 83%. That's a very good number to say yes. And I would say just go for the Security Plus. Go for the Security Plus. I wouldn't say the CISSP. They have an associate version, one that's more entry level, but I wouldn't say the CISSP. I would mainly say the Security Plus. Okay, let's get back to it. I'm just changing all these different views. Okay, over 92% of job posts ask candidates to be. Oh my gosh, who said that? Who said that? Where you go? Where he go? Let's see. What is that? So let's just compare and contrast here. Let me take myself off because this is not about me. This is about them. Okay, let's just compare and contrast these two things. Roundtree said that, hey, it is, I think people are misled in hearing what they want to hear and don't realize that you should have some familiarity, familiar, right? Being knowledgeable, being able to speak to, right? And what does this say here from what they're posting? They said here, over 92% of jobs ask candidates to be familiarity, be able to speak to understand, to have a knowledge of, right? They're asking you to be familiar with, just as Roundtree said, candidates to be familiar with frameworks, standards, and regulations. These are all concepts that are there within cybersecurity. So if you talk about frameworks and standards and regulations, you talk about NIST, right? The National Institute of something. I don't know what the ST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. That's a very common and very important standard in cybersecurity. Let's keep on going here. Is that sharing the right screen? Let's see. Oh, I got to do my tab. I'm in a tab. Share the screen and share the tab. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so just as Roundtree said, being familiar with these things, and the same thing with these people who poll 10,000 different jobs are saying, being familiar with these things. So it's important to be familiar with these things. Let's see. Yep, search will get you past HR. Search will get you past the HR filters. Just like Wired Dog said, yeah, Python. Yep, absolutely. Roundtree said, I know those people are. I know of those people you are speaking of. I think they have been in the game for a long time and may have made it without it, but different companies require different things. True. Very, very much so. Different companies require very different things. But if they're polling 10,000 job postings in 2023 and seeing 83% are saying, hey, they're preferring cybersecurity certifications, then I'm going to go with, if I'm trying to increase my chances on getting one of these entry-level cybersecurity roles, then I'm going to probably get a certification. And I would like to ask, like, Roundtree, do you have any cybersecurity certifications? Whether you have them or not, I'm not. There's no judgment or anything here. But I kind of want to understand, has that helped you and assisted you with being able to get your entry level role? So yeah, Corey says, I see NIST, SOC, PCI for frame. Yeah, absolutely. Those are very good frameworks, especially for the industry that you're interviewing with. So right. So one thing that I've seen that those standards per industry are very important. So NIST is typically across the board, no matter what industry that you're looking at. But if you're looking at financial, like we spoke of before, you're talking about PCI or SOX. If you're talking about nuclear, the industry I came from, you're talking about the NRC or the NEI. NRC standing for Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or NEI stands for Nuclear Energy Institute, and they have standards and regulations that go across there. If you're looking at healthcare, you're looking at HIPAA. HIPAA is one thing that takes care of the security of protected data or healthcare records. These things are important. So understanding what those cybersecurity standards are for those different industries that you're in before an interview is extremely, extremely important. Yeah, I see those often too. And Roundtree says, my job gave me 30 days to get to Security Plus when they hired me. I got it the next week. Let's go. Listen. Certifications are what a lot of these job posters are looking for. Just get it. right? Just if you're looking for an entry level role, just get it. But to Roundtree's point, what he said earlier, a lot of people do rely on you do start to rely on experience to get roles rather than certifications if you're talking about down the line in your career. But right now, we're talking about entry level. This is information that are for people who are trying to get in, and I would say that a certification will be very helpful. I have my Security Plus because I work in a government contracting company, and it is a must. Absolutely, it is a must. One thing that we spoke about is the 8570 cybersecurity certifications standards. So this is for DoD or Department of Defense type of roles, and they have required certifications in order to even get in those type of roles. So Roundtree says that he works for a government contracting organization, and the Security Plus is a requirement. Boom, right there, right there. Yeah, thank you for posting that for NIST. Boom, right? I'm studying for CISSP. Professor Black Ops studying for CISSP. They also sponsor my secret clearance. That's another thing that they do. They sponsor your clearances with a lot of these government organizations. They sponsor your certifications. They pay for all that because they know that that's a requirement for you to even be able to be a staff to that particular role. You having certifications, you having clearances helps them to be able to staff you to stuff so that you can make them money and that you can make money yourself. So boom, right there. Professor Black Ops, boom, right. Okay. We're almost done here. We have a couple of more here. So certifications, another one that we looked at that Roundtree had mentioned, the 92% of jobs ask for some familiarity with things. We spoke about some of those. Let's see what else are they talking about. Most commonly listed were HIPAA. So that's that healthcare. Again, I didn't look at this, right? I did not look at this. I promise you I didn't look at this. HIPAA, GLBA, I don't know what that one is. GDPR, I think that's European standards for data security, PCI DSS. This is what we're talking about for financial organizations, where Drew was asking about that. PCI and DSS standards, FISMA, that's government. Professor Black Ops knows all about that. The security side, the NIST cybersecurity framework, that's for government and just across the whole industry. And ISO is also another one that's like a blanket one across the whole industry. So being familiar with some of these or all of these is extremely important. So Clayton mentions these. Boom, he's putting out this stuff for CISA. Clayton mentions I've done NIST for 10 plus years. NIST for 10 plus years. Wow. Okay, remote work, not okay. Okay, that might be something that you're giving up here. Okay, Wire Dog, yeah. Thank you for the game. Yeah, GLBA is Gamma. Yeah, I've definitely heard of this before. So Graham. Why I say Gamma? Graham Leach Bliley Act. Okay, and it's in the financial sector. So that might be another one, Drew, that you might want to look into. SOX, PCI, but also GLBA. Take a look at those. Remote work. This is something that listen, you're talking to the millennial in me. The millennials and the Gen Zs, we want to stay at home, y'all. We want to stay at home, employers. But I don't know. They're saying that when they polled all these jobs, hey, let's zoom in a little bit here. They talk about remote work. They're saying it's not okay for a lot of these jobs. Remote work might not be that common. Okay, it says only 11% of jobs were reviewed were okay with junior employees being remote 100% of the time. Most employers expect the candidates to be on site. You're speaking to the millennial Gen Z in me. I'm not a Gen Z, I'm a millennial, and I'm like, I don't want to go into an office anymore, right? I want to be at home with my family. I want to be able to do my hobbies. I want to, be able to do YouTube streams and do content creations. I can't do that all the time from an office. So if you're looking for remote work, you're looking for going into a site, I don't know. You might not have that much success with entry-level roles. You might not have that much success. Okay, Drew said he's on his laptop right now. Okay, definitely. Yeah, same here. I love remote. Listen, Wire Dog is right there. Lots of jobs are bringing you. Yeah, they are. That's just the temperature right now. Many companies are bringing people back into, even if you're talking about big tech organizations. I know that not some years, but it's so interesting because I'm always in somebody's interview cycle. And I was speaking with Google, right? And Google was mentioning, hey, if you're trying to work for us, you got to come into the office. You're gonna have to relocate. As soon as they said relocation assistance, I was like, nah, Thank you for your inquiry. Like, I'm not going back into, I'm not relocating for no job. I bought a house here, got several investments, I got family here. Why am I going somewhere for a job anymore, especially to be on site? Anyway, that's just a whole another thing. But that's the thing, right? They say 11, you're looking for an entry level role, you know, they're trying to bring you back into the office. I think that was another reason why where my friend Omri or Textual Chatter, he was speaking about, he used to work for what he used to work for Goldman Sachs, and Goldman Sachs' CEO came out and said, listen, everybody coming back to the office. Everybody's coming back into the office. So, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, right? Overall, I think having FaceTime with your coworkers and, you know, building synergies and all that, but, you know, it's just a preference. It's just a preference that a lot of us have because of the pandemic has done it. But yeah, man, they're trying to get people to go back into the office. And thank you, Professor Black Ops, for mentioning. Okay, he has a whole list of NIST videos. So we were talking about those standards and standards, being familiar with those standards. So Professor Black Ops on his channel, feel free to go to his channel, take a look at that playlist where he goes over many of those NIST standards, something that'll help you get familiar with some of those standards before you jump into an entry-level role. So thank you for that. Yep. MITRE ATT&CK is another one Clay mentioned. MITRE ATT&CK helps you to understand how an adversary will go from initial compromise all the way to achieving their goal, whether it's data exfiltration, whether it's moving laterally, whether it's dropping different payloads, all different places. So that's another thing that you can be familiar with to really understand what happens in cybersecurity. Gail says, I don't want to be confined to one location, so being able to work remotely anywhere within the U.S. and a few countries will be awesome. Gail, that happens a lot of times in consulting. That happens a lot of times in consulting. Many consultants are remote. Most of us work from home when in these consulting firms. And one thing that we do is that we work remote 100% of the time, but we travel to customer sites and travel to customer locations in order to perform our work, whether we're doing a workshop, whether we're doing some type of technical assessment, whether we're meeting with stakeholders and customers in order for them to get recommendations, or going out to eat and, you know, whining and dining them and doing all types of things. So I think that might be, you know, the move for a lot of people who don't want to go back into the office, because having a work from home with a travel requirement might be where a lot of people go. So I know I've been working in consulting, I mean, shoot, years. So I haven't been in the office since around 2017 or so. So that might be something where you all might look to go if you're not looking at going back into the office, but you still want to get out there. You still want to travel. I turned down 2 recent job opportunities because they were not remote. Yeah, they're real bold with it too. They're like, this job is here. I'm like, oh no, I'm here. You're trying to have me go there just for this job? Like, I'm not giving away my here for there. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. JM mentions it's okay. The same computer you use at work, it's the same computer you can use at home. It is, isn't it? VPNs will ensure network safety if they are configured properly. Absolutely. VPNs are very helpful. And that's the thing, right? It's not even a sense of productivity. It's like the reasoning behind it is whack as well. It's like, if you can be just as productive at home than you can be in the office, then what is the reason? Many times it's because of these long-term contracts that organizations have with different vendors, with businesses, with commercial type of organizations. So they've already put in the investment, the multi-year investment, the multi-year payments towards things. So they're like, we got to bring people back in, and they want to see you and monitor you, and, you know, all these different things. I'm a manager, and I don't care, really. I don't need to be I don't need to walk past your cubicle to see, hey, what the people on my team are doing. I don't care about all that. I'm here to help you get to where you desire to go in your career. I'm here to challenge you. I'm here to give you challenging work, and for you to be able to grow as a professional. And eventually, if you desire to be a manager or even above me, I'm here to empower you to do that. I'm not here to monitor you and be your babysitter and micromanage. No, thank you at all. So, you know, the people on my team, like, they reach out when they need me, and I reach out to them when there is something that is necessary. I'm not just reaching out to just evaluate them or micromanage them. Roundtree says, if you look into jobs from the last year till now, the numbers are going, they are going down fast. You're right. You're right. I would consider on-site if the price was. Yeah, listen, if the price was right, I don't know. Wire Dog, I'm kind of in the middle there because I'm like, I love this freedom so much to the point where I'm like, I would take less. I would take less to stay at home. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, not considerably less. Like, let's not get crazy here. But I would take less. I would definitely take less. Not considerably less, but when I say considerably, I'm not taking like a $40,000 to $80,000 pay cut to stay at home in comparison to going to office. Not if they talking that, I might have to pack my bags, pack the family up, and we might have to sell that. What would I sell? And that's an important question, right? Because how much more would you need in order to go back into the office? I would say to go back to the office and move. If I'm moving, if I gotta move, I'm at least need 150 plus on top of where I'm currently at. At least 100 to 150. At least. I mean, at the bottom level, but I still don't want to. Okay. Enough of that. I don't even want to do me either, Gail. I don't want to go hybrid either. Just the traffic getting back and forth to work takes so many hours. See, and that's the good thing about consulting, like, right? So when you talk about hybrid, it's different. So you're traveling to different cities and different places, but you're Ubering everywhere, right? You're Ubering everywhere. You're staying in hotels. You're not paying for anything yourself. You're not even paying for food. So you get like a company card and you put the flights. You might even want to get a rental if you want. Sometimes if you have a multi-week engagement, you stay there over the weekend and you enjoy and you do whatever you feel like doing on the weekend. I know one time I had an engagement in Portland, Oregon, right? I had never been to Portland. But then I had a 2-week engagement there. It was like a type of workshops, security assessment stuff. So we were working so like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, right? And then we're retired to the hotel. So during the evenings, I have those to myself, whether I want to spend it with the customer, whether I want to do something. And I was there during the weekend. So I went to, I don't know, I found some mountain range. I did some hiking. I found some interesting food to eat. I found some cool things to go. I think I went to the movies over the weekend. It was cool. And again, nothing was out of my pocket. This was all paid for by the organization I was working for because I was there for work. So, hybrid does look a little bit different in consulting, but going into the office here and there, nah, just as a regular. I'm going to the office if I can get one more contract overseas for a few more years. I feel you, Clay. I don't think it's too, I'd be comfortable with a new guy being at home while being a security. Yeah, I can see that. So, this here about remote work, maybe they share your same sentiment there. That 11% of jobs they're saying, especially when a new guy means little experience, not new to the company, but has been around a while. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. As soon as I see on-site, I keep scrolling. Thanks for the link, Professor. Yeah. He's dropping gems. When you work remote, they track everything you do and your metrics. They have ways to know if you're working or not. Yeah, I think so. You're working in a very large organization, that tracking is like less. I know for the people on my team, I don't have any tracking mechanisms for anything that they do, other than if they're chargeable on particular projects or whatever they tell me. But I don't have any I don't know. Maybe like other organizations are different, but I don't have any tracking mechanisms for if they're live on Teams or not. I mean, I can look on Teams to see if they're like active, but I don't because I trust my team members. I believe that they have the ability and can execute on the work that they do. But when you're mentioning kind of what Clay is mentioning, like when you got somebody that's super new, they might need some additional oversight. They might need some assistance with kind of getting up and going. So again, it's kind of getting back to that same standard of more assisting newer people with some type of physical interaction or some type of being in the same physical place. So yeah, I can see that. Oh man, I'm super late. Oh no, you're right on time. There's always a playback. Like you can always see the playback, casual economist. But thank you for coming through. For sure. I'm hybrid communicating. Drew says from New York City to New York City 3 times a week. That's not bad. Could you just jump on a train, Drew? the train life. I've been there. I know a lot of people that for a past organization I worked for, they were living in New Jersey and they went over into New York. Yeah. But I'm sure the training can be stressful. So I don't know all of what that life is. But you're here now, absolutely. Corey says, I wouldn't do 100% on site, but to get experience and get my foot in the door, I would offer hybrid, being how I do not have fully remote is ideal. I feel Boomer and X's love office. They do, don't they, Corey? Them Boomers and X's love us being in the office, don't they? They want us in that office. No disrespect to the Boomers and the X's. No disrespect, but I think that's y'all preference as a group. Not everybody, right? Everybody isn't the same, but as a group, I think you all do desire kind of what your parents did. Your parents would sweat and grinded in the fields and in the industrial environments and the mechanical. They were always lifting stuff. Like, listen, we're not trying to do all that. We're trying to do knowledge work, right? Millennials and Gen Zers, we're trying to do knowledge work as our default, but I get it. Wire Dog says, I worked at one org where they had to track daily oh, yikes. Trello. Oh, I used to hate Trello. It was ridiculous. That sucks. But it was consulting type of work. Wow. So probably what they were doing is that they were trying to be very tight on their budgeting. They were probably trying to be very tight. They probably didn't have a whole bunch of work, a whole bunch of projects. So they were very tight on what they charged to, and anything over they probably didn't pay for, or they were probably looking for a reason to let people go. Raunchy said, when I was at help desk, we had a team and 2 seniors that we could always reach out to. That's dope. But I feel you in security. I am pro remote, but I understand. Yeah. And that's another thing, right? I think one of the job postings that we saw, it said that senior analysts will be able to assist more junior analysts in the roles and responsibilities. I think you can do that over Teams. You can do that over different speaking apps or Google Suite and whatnot. But at the same time, having them right there physically, it does add some camaraderie. People like to go out to lunch and everything and chat. So I can see that. So, and it's worked for some people. I worked at a bank that was in office. Then you earn work from day. Oh, okay. So you earn your work from home days based on 30-day evaluation. After about 6 months, 1 year, you can be fully remote, work from home with exceptions of meetings. Oh, wow. That sounds like an interesting, like you earn up to your work from home. That's interesting. So it's like more of work from home is an incentive more than a standard. Okay, I can see that. I am Gen X and I have been on the pursuit to work from home since 19. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, all y'all not created equal. Not all y'all are the same. So that's why I wanted to put that disclaimer in there. I want to put that in there. Okay. We've been talking. I got a couple more slides here. So we see it's going down for these roles. Soft skills still matter. Beyond tech skills, over 90% of the roles listed, some combination of the following: problem solving, research, analysis, written and oral communication. So that's very important. And it also says no degree, no problem. Less than 24% of jobs require an undergraduate degree. Other positions mentioned that experience would be considered in lieu of formal education. And when a degree was mentioned, preferred areas of study included computer science, information technology, information systems, information assurance, information security, and cybersecurity. So we're seeing the decrease, not only a decrease in the remote work, but we're also seeing an uptick in requirements for roles where those requirements aren't necessarily degrees. So we're seeing a downward trend in required degrees, and we're also seeing an upward trend in required certifications. It said 83% certifications, 83% of the roles mentioned certifications, but only 24%, 1/4 of those roles looked at degrees as a requirement. I would say that degrees still are measured, right? It is a measure, but like it says, when you have experience, when you have projects, when you have things that you've done in the field, that outweighs anything with degrees. But when they're mentioned, these are some of the degrees that are there. Okay, which takeaway surprised you the most? Okay, so I think that's good, right? I think the one that surprised me the most is probably the remote work. I knew it was down, but I didn't know it was like only 11%. Only 11% of the remote work or the remote jobs were there, right, for entry-level roles. But it makes sense. It does make sense. So, okay. I think that we went over a lot of different information here. We went over the fact that entry-level job roles are out there. Entry-level cybersecurity jobs are out there. But the thing about it is that when you start to look at a lot of the postings on like LinkedIn and Indeed and Monster, that they're badly advertised. Many of them are very badly advertised. Oh, and I do want to kind of give you one thing to leave you off with, and I'll throw this in the chat too. That this is some advice from that gentleman. His name is Kyle. Kyle has said, hey, if you are looking for an entry-level role, then this is something that you can use in the LinkedIn filters that can help you greater find what some of those roles are. You can use some of the operators. So let me go ahead and share this, and then we're going to go ahead and close out. Let me share this here. Let's see what Kyle says about this.
Here's a quick trick to finding better job results on LinkedIn. If I just search entry-level security jobs, I get 341,000 results. But Boolean operators like and or not can help us weed out results that we don't want. So if we narrow into a job title like security operations or SOC, we get 507 results. But there are probably quite a few jobs here that shouldn't be labeled entry-level. So let's narrow it down further. Using the not Boolean operator, we can exclude senior, lead, staff, years of, and years experience. And that gives us 304 results. Now, I bet if you look through this list, many of these will be much closer to entry level.
Okay, there we go. And I took and I threw that right there within the chat for you all to kind of have a takeaway from this. If you're looking for these entry-level cybersecurity roles, they're badly advertised at times. We can see 15 years of experience on some of them, but using some of these Boolean operators will help to parse through a lot of those postings so you can get to the entry-level cybersecurity jobs that do exist, that will give you a foot in the door. Another thing that we looked at was that particular survey, which showed that there were a lot of different trends. And I threw that survey also within the chat. We had a whole bunch of conversation about cybersecurity standards and transitioning from accounting to cybersecurity, looking at NIST standards and the MITRE ATT&CK framework, so many different things. For those who are just seeing this, or for those who have missed the majority of the content, feel free to look at the playback. But this, again, is Struggle Security. We are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. Thank you all for being here. I definitely appreciate you all for being here. And just a couple of more comments. Princessa just got here. Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Take a look at the playback. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff here in game. The other vid you did mention 350 gigs. I'm thinking 350 gigs. Then you were talking some stuff, some more stuff, and I clicked my head gigs, not megs, and I was like, whoa. And I know, Clay, like it was crazy. Like if I go and show you how much space that thing takes up, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount. But then welcome, Princessa. Thank you. But we are actually closing out right now. Thank you all for being here. And again, it's just Struggle Security, where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. And also, I just posted a video about security analyst roles. And that's typically thought of as like a entry level to kind of a mid-level cybersecurity role. So I just posted a video for those who are interested in it. If you might know somebody else who is interested in it, feel free to take a look at that video that I had just dropped today. But thank you all for coming through. Congratulations to Roundtree 30. He said that he just had got a role within cybersecurity, and he says, salute, you finishing up, and I am clocking out of work in my bedroom. God, I love it. Thank you for coming through. Gail says, thank you and good stream. Thank you for coming through, Gail. Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for contributing. Stephen, thank you for the content. This was very helpful. I came in about halfway through, and we'll go back and watch the first half. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I definitely just appreciate you all for even just viewing my content. I definitely appreciate it, and come back for the next ones where we are normalizing struggling in cybersecurity, and hopefully I've alleviated one of these struggles that you all have had. Let me go ahead and I'm happy my wife isn't putting anything in the chat because she's probably saying, come downstairs and help me with this baby. So let me go ahead and go and see about the family. Okay. Yeah, thank you, and come back for the next one. All right, see you all later.